Who changed the Sabbath? We live our lives by a calendar we didn't write. We rest on a day we were told to rest. But what if the very foundation of your weekly routine was based on a 1,700-year-old forgery? Welcome. Most people believe that Sunday has always been the Lord's Day, the sacred day of rest. But if you pick up a magnifying glass and look at the original blueprints of history, you'll find a different story. The world runs on cycles, 7 days, a loop that never stops. We take it for granted that Saturday is for errands and Sunday is for rest and worship. But if you look closely at the gears of history, you will find a glitch. To understand the change, we must see the original. The Sabbath didn't start with a religion. It started at the dawn of existence. In the ancient manuscripts, the Creator didn't rest because he was tired. He rested to set a meeting point in time. The seventh day was a seal, a signature between the architect and his creation. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Of all the 10 decrees, this is the only one that begins with remember, as if the architect knew that one day someone would try to make us forget. For the first few centuries, the followers of Christ kept the seventh day. But the political winds were shifting. The Roman Empire hated anything that looked Jewish. The Sabbath became a mark of the rebel, the outsider. Enter Constantine the Great, a political genius. He faced a fragmented empire, half pagan, half Christian. He needed a system update to unify his people. In the year 321 AD, Constantine signed a decree. He didn't say, "Rest on the Lord's day." He said, "On the venerable day of the sun, let the magistrates and people rest." It was the perfect compromise. The pagans were happy. It was the day of their sun god. The church was happy. They gained the protection of the empire. The truth was traded for political peace. This is the turning point. The change wasn't theological. It was administrative. A Roman emperor took a pagan holiday and dressed it in a Christian cloak. But how did this temporary fix become an eternal law? The Bible never changed the day. The institutions did. At the Council of Laodicea, the church officially outlawed the seventh day. They decreed that anyone resting on Saturday would be anathema, excommunicated. In official Catholic catechisms, the admission is startlingly clear. When asked who changed the Sabbath, the answer is the Church, by its own authority, not by any scriptural text. This was a test of power. Who is the master of your conscience? The word of the Creator, or the tradition of the institution? For 1,700 years, this change has been the foundation of our culture. It is so deeply embedded that we no longer question it. Sunday has become a habit we call truth. But history remains written on this whiteboard. Sunday is not the Sabbath. Sunday is the most successful political decree in human history, disguised as a divine command. I am not here to tell you which day to keep. I am here to show you that your knowledge is often the result of someone else's power. Once you know who changed the law, you have to ask yourself, what else in my life is just an old decree wearing a new mask? The truth doesn't need you to believe it to exist, but you need the truth to be truly free. The board is white again. The next stroke is yours.